things around you will also start getting better. As law of attraction states, you become the thing you want to attract. So become the person you want to have in your life. So when you start loving yourself, when you start becoming love, you will radiate love, and that is how we can love better. So working on oneself is the most important part of it. Then also, when it comes to choosing a partner, there are three major things one person should actually take care of. One, you and your partner both should be eager to grow in every aspect. Like the normal human tendency, or why the how the God has created human is, I think, on the basis of evolution. So we need to evolve every day. We need to be better than yesterday. So you and your partner should have that urge of growing together in all aspects of life. This is the one thing. Second thing, you need to be very, very kind, empathetic, patient. You should be a person who should sympathize or maybe empathize or be kind towards each other. And number third, it is very important for you to understand each other's perspective. So if XYZ is right for me, ABC can be right for them. So it is very important for us to understand that we should also try to understand their ABC. And yes, they should also try to understand our XYZ. And this is how a beautiful bonding or relationship will go further. So these three things were the most important part, how the author has explained. And yes, of course, there are certain tools, and he actually focused more on meditation. He talked about meditation, how meditation can beautifully transform yourself, and obviously, then in as a resultant, it will transform your relationships as well. So this was the summary of what we have read till now. And yeah, we can start with our chapter number 4 today. So anybody who wants to read, they can just raise their hands and write their names in the chat. Anyone?
Yeah, I will read.
All right, Rajkumarji. Please start reading.
Yeah, thank you. To the biggest challenge to inner peace and inner thriving is attachment. In this chapter and throughout this book, attachment will directly refer to the ancient understanding that craving for something or someone to exist in a particular way is a source of misery. This is a central teaching of the Buddha, and it has ramifications that are incredibly relevant in our modern times. Not only does attachment weigh down the mind of an individual, but as we will later explore, attachment can be a corrosive element that can bring down and potentially break a relationship. Attachment is a deep form of inflexibility. It is a craving that runs so deep in the mind that it creates tension while you are dreaming about what you crave and trying to preserve the things you have already attained. The mind is creating a tense atmosphere for itself that directly blocks peace from arising. Attachment also holds a very narrow perspective which struggles to see everything other than its own desire. The mind is tilted toward the craving for control. Evolutionarily, this makes sense because of the inner impulse to survive. Not only is our deep human programming and geared towards survival mode, but our childhoods and life experiences will often strengthen that programming as we experience varying degrees of hurt and trauma. Life is not easy, and in the process of surviving, we harden. Not only do our hearts become less open because we fear that no one will be able to receive our vulnerability, but our minds become more focused on expanding what we can control. If life is hard, should not we strive to control as much as possible to keep ourselves safe? That seems like the logical direction we should take. But seeking to control quickly backfires because There are far too many factors involved in each situation. It is impossible to control the multiplicity of possibilities and variables that go into creating each moment and every individual. Seeking control is like falling for the classic mirage of water in a desert. Control is an illusion that we trick ourselves into believing. As wise people have repeatedly realized through self observation, the only things you control are your own actions. Striving to control keeps your attention outward, always seeking an external factor you can impact that will bring you peace instead of turning your attention inward and finding peace within yourself. People often spend their entire lifetime looking outward when the answer is within. The relentless pursuit of control keeps the mind tense and geared toward anxiety. The drive to control is pushed along by attachment, but there is an underlying misunderstanding but that gives this pattern its power. We forget that we live in a river of impermanence. Even when we say we understand this truth, we still strive to create a permanent heaven held together by our precise cravings within this river of impermanence. This craving to have things exist in the manner that we desire arises from our inability to fully embrace change. Impermanence is pervasive at every level of existence, and no matter how hard we may try, the river of change will always flow forward, eventually eroding everything we have created. Fundamentally, everything that exists will ultimately pass away. Things, situations, and people can exist only for a finite amount of time. Trying to fight this truth is a great cause of misery. One day, Ajahn Cha held up a beautiful Chinese teacup. To me, this cup is already broken because I know its fate. I can enjoy it fully here and now. And when it is gone, it is gone. When we understand the truth of uncertainty and relax, we become free. Jake Cornfield, The White Heart. The opposite of control is teaching ourselves to live in harmony with this flow and to embrace the dynamic quality of reality. If we cannot stop change, we may as well befriend it and learn how to move with it. This is probably one of the hardest realizations to integrate into your life. Embracing change requires practice. The old habit of the mind will fight change because it fears it, but the only path toward true happiness requires you to embrace the truth of impermanence. The fear of change is logical because change can take away the things we like, but we often fail to realize that change is the great giver of opportunity. Life itself is possible because our universe is based on motion. If everything were static, nothing would have ever come into being. Because things move, we have a chance to exist, learn, and grow. Change can create hardship, but it also can create beauty and all the wondrous aspects of life that we deeply cherish. Teaching ourselves to flow with change does not mean that we stop making decisions and that we become passive players in life. Flowing with change requires a deep understanding of balance. The goal is to accept the fact that you can't control everything while you move intentionally through your life. You use the power of your actions to work patiently and steadfastly to attain your goals and build a good life for yourself. But you simultaneously know that everything is not under your control. Ideally, you will use your actions to construct, and when the wind blows, you won't be. Second, please move the page. And upset. Instead, you will assess what is lost and continue building in the direction of a life that is even better than what you had previously imagined. Knowing that setbacks will happen and doing your best to face them with tolerance and acceptance is the goal. Flowing with change requires the antithesis of attachment, which is letting go. Going with the flow does not mean you sit back passively and expect everything to work out. Going with the flow means you don't cause yourself stress by fighting changes that are out of your control. Can somebody else read, please?
Thank you, Rajkumarji. Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
beautiful read. Anybody wants to read? All right, I shall start. Clinging to the past. Another obstacle to inner thriving is hanging onto the past. The mind struggles with letting go and it will keep dragging the past into the present. The past may show up as a solidified form of identity that we keep clinging to because we are used to seeing ourselves in that matter. It may also show up as triggers that cause painful emotions and memories to resurface, or in relationships as old grievances remerging even though our partner is a different person today. This is one of the main reasons why healing is such a critical component toward living your best life. Healing is done right if it teaches you how to let go. Healing is done right if it teaches you how to let go. Staying attached to your own past will keep your mind heavy and clouded. One of the most challenging obstacles in life is the ignorance we have regarding the inner working of our own mind. Initially, impulsive reactions can feel genuine and righteous. But when you start looking inward, it becomes clear that impulsive reactions often have very little to do with what is happening in the present moment. Impulsive reactions are bridges that connect whatever you're perceiving in the present with a feeling of the past. How we react and how intensely that reaction manifests through our thoughts, words, and actions is a revelation of how deeply the past still has a hold over our mind. Hard truth. Boundaries alone are not enough to bring you deep inner peace. You also need to realize how your own reactions are causing you stress. Before you can change your perception, you first need to be real with yourself about how it is affecting you. Every reaction to what you feel leave a mark on the mind, a mark that over time becomes a pattern that hardens and makes your action rigid. The important thing to note here is that the mind is constantly reacting to the feelings in the body. When the mind is full of thoughts of anxiety or it is running through tough memories, all the emotions that you are feeling, even though you experience them quite strongly at a mental level, are rooted and grounded in the sensations of the body. When you feel anger, there is a sensation in the body. When you feel anxiety, there is a clear sensation in the body. Passion, fear, jealousy, all of these dense emotions appear with sensations in the body. Sensations in the body are the link between whatever the mind is experiencing and how we react. We are not actually reacting to our thoughts, we are reacting to how we feel. I'll read this again. This is very important line. We are not actually reacting to our thoughts. We are reacting to how we feel. This is one of the great discoveries of Buddha. The Gutara Nikaya, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, one of many collections that hold the Buddha's teaching, states everything that arises in mind is accompanied by sensation. Even if this is not immediately evident, it is a truth that comes to the life when the mind becomes sharp and subtle. Though through direct observation, it ultimately becomes clear that the patterning of the mind that shapes our behavior starts with the way we react to our sensations. The way we have reacted in the past has a direct impact on how we perceive the reality. The mind will quickly take anything it is perceiving and match it with something that is similar to the past it has experienced. Not only will your perception match what you are experiencing, but it will evaluate it as negative or positive. Something that is feels aversion toward or something that it craves. The mind is geared toward judgment and unclear perception. The mind normally struggles to witness the present as it is because it is filtering reality through the heavily conditioned past. This creates great difficulty in daily life. Having part of your mind here and part of your mind still battling the past is a great source of inner tension. The glaring truth is that this is a struggle that is persuasive throughout humanity. If you have a mind, then much of it will be clinging to the past. Granted, the past is useful in the sense that it is informative and it can help us make sense of the world, avoid prior mistakes, and make better behavioral choices. But when we are deeply attached to the past, either through craving something in particular or by feeling the deep aversion that comes up with trauma, genuinely being in the present becomes a massive battle. This is a common difficulty and a roadblock of the human experience. Fortunately, healing is possible. Ways to elevate past trauma and hurt are becoming more widely accessible, and methods for repatterning the mind in ways that are conducive, conducive to mental clarity and good living are becoming more abundant. Before I began meditating, I struggled with this terribly. My mind could barely sit in the present moment. It was constantly judging, reacting, and jumping between craving and aversions. Everything I witnessed was quickly filtered through my heavy past. Anytime I felt threatened, my reactions were loud and overly defensive. This was creating a great tension in my relationship with Sarah because my past was constantly on a mission. Sorry, guys, something my thing from phone dropped off. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This was creating great tension in my relationship with Sarah because my past was constantly on a mission to block a peaceful present from existing. When we would speak, I could barely listen and was too focused on my points. Whenever our conversations got too serious, I felt the rush of anxiety in my body and my thought pattern turned negative and defensive. Fear would fill my perspective, and I would try my best to avoid responsibility. Even though we were just speaking, it felt like I was genuine danger. This made it so that our conversations could barely break through the surface, if at all. For the first few years of our relationships, it felt as if we were stuck at the beginning. finding joy and comfort in each other's presence, but without the deeper emotional connection that comes from gifting each other our vulnerability. Little did I know at the time that to be vulnerable, one has to have the strength to overcome the franticness, I don't know how to pronounce this word, of survival mode and defensiveness. Meditation changed this for me because it focused directly on mental training and letting go. It taught me to befriend the present moment and to do my best to observe it objectively. Much of this involvement simply bringing my attention back to what is, as opposed to letting my perception project the past onto whatever I was encountering. The repetition of intentionally moving my attention slowly cultivated my weak mental muscle. As I practiced giving attention to the past moment, I became able to listen to Sarah in more selfless manner. When hard conversations would arise, the impulse to turn or to be defensive was still there. But I now had the training to bring my attention back to the conversation and to do my best to observe what was happening without throwing my old judgments onto the situation. Cultivating present moment awareness opened the door to deeper connection within myself and with her. Listening takes a lot of strength, especially when you are listening to understand as opposed to listening to respond. I will repeat this again. Listening takes a lot of strength, especially when you are listening to understand as opposed to listening to respond. Anybody wants to take this over?
I
Anyone?
can do.
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah. The other major benefit from meditating was that from my whole life, my mind had felt heavy. My reactions were so quick that I barely had any control over them. The defensive and survivalist pattern that most often manifested as sadness, anxiety, and fleeing from anything that became too emotionally difficult felt like something had hardened into concrete. At that time, my mind felt incredibly rigid and immovable. So when I started meditating, I was shocked that my mind felt a little bit lighter. There was a sudden openness that started expanding. I was especially able to see this transformation over time as I kept going to silent 10-day retreats. I would do 3 to 4 a year. I felt a major difference in my own mind, and soon I started seeing that the quality of my relationship with Sarah was improving. Not only did I begin appreciating her more, but when difficult conversations would arise, my mind started feeling like it had more possibilities than just reacting with negativity, defensiveness, or counter arguments that would simply add to the fire of the argument. This was at first a very shocking experience because I was so familiar with the old flow of events. Hard topic comes up to do my best to avoid blame, defend, and hope the argument ends without us breaking up. I'll just read. Okay. The difference This was at first a very shocking experience because I was so familiar with the old flow of events. Hard topic comes up, do my best to avoid blame, defend, and hope the argument ends without us breaking up. The difference came when the hard topic would come up and I could feel the defensiveness arising within my mind. But it was no longer the only option. Instead, it was one possibility among a few paths I could take. I felt like my mind was able to process more than the impulsive reaction. It could see there were other more productive, genuine, and harmonizing actions that I could take. Actions such as admitting my own mistakes is in a situation, taking responsibility for my part of it, apologizing, trying to genuinely understand where she was coming from or what was at the root of my mental tension, and trying to bring us closer to a solution that we both felt good about. I'll just read this. This is beautiful. These are beautiful lines. Actions. See, there were other more productive, genuine, and harmonizing actions that I could take. Actions such as admitting my own mistakes in a situation, taking responsibility for my part of it, apologizing, trying to genuinely understand where she was coming from or what was at the root of my mental tension, and trying to bring us closer to a solution that we both felt good about. This was not an overnight victory, and in no way have we elevated arguing and handling conflict to a perfect art form, but it is definitely not the way it used to be for us. The great thing was that we took the meditation adventure together. So we were both able to feel this new mental spaciousness and novel sense of choice that could lead us to a shared space of harmony. I like to think of the healing that happened through meditation as lightening the load. My mind was heavy with the past, and that patterned my behavior. But meditation helped weaken those reaction patterns over time. Reaction is a muscle just like peace. The more I intentionally practice present moment awareness and objectivity, the more that heavy load of reaction weakened. The value of pausing so that you can respond as opposed to react is becoming a more popular notion. But what is commonly left out is that this requires training. It is hard to simply do it, just as it would be hard to run a marathon without any training. You have to intentionally try over and over again, literally reinforcing a new set of positive behaviors in your mind until they eventually become second nature. At first, it can feel clunky and even a bit disingenuous. But you have to remind yourself that your impulsive reaction is just an echo of the past, and the way you react is not the real you. A more genuine representation is that you intentionally choose as your action after the craving subsides. If you stay committed to developing a new you, there will eventually be a moment of victory when you realize that you were able to make a good decision for yourself that feels productive and aligned rather than robotic and past oriented. Again, there is nothing wrong with being in touch with your past and letting it inform you, but that doesn't mean you should be living your past over and over again by reacting in the same ways that you used to. If you want to live a new and better life, keep the information from the past but let go of the negative ways you would react in the past. A world of possibility opens up when you finally start letting go. Only through healing and letting go can you choose behaviors that bring forward more vibrant living. I healed deeply through meditation, and it became the catalyst for a more profound and invigorating relationship with Sarah. But people heal in different ways. And the important thing is to embrace the fact that anyone can benefit from some degree of healing and cultivation. No one has everything figured out, and we all definitely have qualities that we can improve on to help us flourish as individuals and in interpersonal situations. Just like a garden, you need to clear the land, plant the seeds, and water them patiently while also making sure you do occasional weeding. When you practice new responses to challenging situations, you are removing the weeds of past reactions and lightening the load of your mind. Your intentions to evolve are like seeds, and they must be nourished by your consistent efforts to love and care for yourself well through healing and self development. Even though Sarah and I healed deeply through meditation and strengthened useful qualities that make life more vibrant, there was still a lot of us to learn about love. We were building foundations of peace within ourselves, but we still didn't know how. Uh, I just missed it. Uh, Missed the line actually. Miss building foundations. Can someone help me with the line? Can you highlight it, Jyoti? Huh. But we still didn't know how to love each other well. It started with giving each other patience and our newfound ability to listen. But we realized that we needed an entirely new culture between us. We needed to develop our own practice of love. 11 truths that should not be ignored. 1. If you want to connect with wisdom and the beauty of the moment, you need to move slowly. Rushing will make you miss so much, and it is actually just a reflection of your inner agitation. 2. Law of cause and effect is predominant in nature. If you want a good life, focus on doing good actions as selflessly as possible. The people you help, the things you give, the kindness you emit, all of these are seeds that will bear good fruit in the future. 3. You know your heart better than anyone else. This means you need to act on what you know. Speak up for yourself. Ask for support when needed. Don't feel like you need to move at the same speed or in the same direction as everyone else. Giving away too much of your time to the request of others will stop you from giving time to what is good and nourishing to you. Betraying yourself is not virtuous. Constantly saying yes to please others will lead to burnout. Say no frequently if you want to create a clear space in your life for what matters most to you. Your energy leaves an imprint on the environment that you are in and the people you are with. Places where the Buddha and his disciples meditated 2600 years ago remain surprisingly vibrant and powerful. Your energy does not stay only with you, it moves outward and invites others to feel the same way. Wow. Trying to avoid all conflicts and arguments is not possible. Interpersonal conflict happens because ego exists. Approaching conflict with selflessness and the goal to understand helps harmony reappear more easily. Real healing is possible, but so is real freedom. Suffering is not eternal. With the right practices, you can slowly but surely decrease the tension that exists in your mind. You can even go as far as to fully extinguish personal suffering, but this takes serious work. You don't have to be perfect to have made tremendous progress. If you are reacting less intensely than before, if your mind feels lighter, if you're making better decisions, then you are moving in a good direction. Mistakes will happen, setbacks are common, and that is okay and natural. Everything requires balance. Going to extremes creates needless friction. Let boldness mix with gentleness. Let your giving match your receiving. Let your striving match your relaxation. If you look with a calm mind, you will be able to find a middle path in most situations. It is exceedingly easy to take for granted the things you are surrounded by on a daily basis. Your family, the food you eat, small enjoyments, but once they gone, you see how much you relied on it and all and simply expected it to be there. Be more intentional about looking around with fresh eyes to see the abundance in front of you. A major shift in attitude and perspective can be as simple as having gratitude. 11. Be mindful of the story you are writing in your mind. Oh, there's a big one. It is factual or is it factual or is it driven by temporarily tumultuous emotions and old hurts? Ego loves tension and wisdom loves peace. Oh, the last line is very powerful. Ego loves tension and wisdom loves peace. Reflection questions. How does attachment make your life difficult? What is your relationship with change? What are you working on letting go? How have your preferences changed from 5 years ago? Are you rushing through life? How can you slow down and be more present? Okay. Are we reading the next chapter? Or are we stopping here?
I think we shall stop here. We can discuss the chapter, or if you want to read, we can read all. The obviously the
Not
chapter.
too big, we can consider reading. Otherwise, we can stop for the discussion. Or if we can just think if we want to kind of start. Hey, it's very small chapter. Let's finish it. What do you
That's
think?
what I was thinking.
Yeah, we just you just scrolled and it just got over very
Yes,
immediately.
yes. So this is page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And small. There are gaps also. So almost
Yes.
7 pages. So much. Yes. Shall
So
we read? I don't know. I'm okay, but others, if everyone is okay, we can read.
please guys give your opinion. Shall we read it, or are we discussing the thing?
How many total chapters are there, Jyoti, in this book?
Mansi, I have to see. I don't know actually. Let
Okay,
me
no problem, no problem. Yeah,
let,
yeah, no problem,
let
no
me see.
problem. Yeah, I'm just, is everyone okay if we read further or do we want to
See,
stop
the
here?
time is 3:12. We
Oh,
had to close at 3:30.
I
That's
think
why.
we
then
can
we
read
don't
three
have
pages.
to.
We can read three
Uh,
pages, I think.
no, then let's keep it for tomorrow only, na? Like, because we are anyway, like, it's just 15 minutes to
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
discuss.
15 minutes
Let's,
discussion, I think, is okay. There are
yeah,
total 13 chapters.
okay,
We
okay. So this
finished
is
with
like
the fourth one.
1/3 of the book we have reached. Okay, no
Yes.
problem. Yeah. No, let's keep it for tomorrow then.
All right, all right. So we are open for discussion, guys. Please, anyone who wants to share something?
So I could relate with this, that change, and the way also he explained about responses, right? So many a times we are not responding with the intention, that we are not listening with an intention of actually understanding the other person. It's also sometimes we are listening with the intention of responding. So we are somewhere, even when we are silent, we are thinking कि अब मैं इसको क्या जवाब दूंगा, like what will I answer, what will I, like what you're framing your answers in your head. I think that makes a difference when you really genuinely listen from an understanding perspective versus listening from a reaction or response perspective. I think that really makes a difference, and that was highlighted in today's chapter. So that is one part which I liked. And also about the way he's explained about how meditation helped them, and even the change part, right? Like, I like this question: what is your relationship with change? So that was very nice. I liked it, and I love this last line, especially, which where the chapter ended with, like, your this thing. What they say? Your ego loves something. Ego loves us. I don't remember the word, and wisdom loves peace.
Yeah,
So I like
I'm highlighting this. Ego loves tension and wisdom loves peace. You can now
that's
see
so
it on the screen.
true. Yeah, actually, because when we are in our egos, we want to fight. We want to just ऐसे कैसे होगा, and all of, like, it's in a different energy altogether, and wisdom always choose peace. So I love that line. So yeah. So and also it happens, right, like when we mature enough, when we grow maybe older in age or experience and everything, we always choose peace mostly, right? We don't get into petty arguments, we don't get into things, and we that's how we know that okay, we have evolved, and that's how we know that somebody has evolved. So I think that's very that was a powerful line again. Yeah, and very, and love this 11 line, 11 these things, sentences or key statements they have given for better relationships. So I like that also. So yeah, that was my takeaways from today. Like, others, please add to this.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mansi, for sharing this. Yes, it is like this, the entire 11th point, I think every point is very important, but this entire thing is extremely important. And we have heard a lot of times about this thing in one way or another way. Being mindful of writing the story we are writing in our mind is very important because everything starts with the thoughts. Thoughts become things. We have heard a lot about all these things. So when we are thinking something, anything we are driving into our head about our lives or our relationship or anything, I think today's chapter is not only about relationships. I think today's chapter was more about everything and every sector of life, be it your career, money, relationships. So this is why I'm loving this book more, because if I always have said this thing to people, that when you yourself are at peace, your relationships with everybody else in this world will be great, and everything directly or indirectly somewhere or the other is derived by how you feel inside. So whether it is your relationships, money part of it, everything, when you are at peace, you would be able to make right choices, you will be able to make right decisions, you will be able to think in a particular way which is right for you. So I think being at peace within yourself is the most important aspect of life, and this book is beautifully covering this entire part. So as I really loved one point where it said that it has been it has been ages when Buddha left, but still, if you'll go to that place where Buddha and his disciples used to meditate, you still will feel the energy which actually they radiated at that time when they were meditating. So it is actually true. Sometimes I think everybody of us must have experienced this one thing whenever we get into a place, whenever we met to a particular person, when we enter into some maybe school, college, or any public gathering, or even at our houses, even at our offices, suddenly either we'll feel started feeling drained, or we'll started feeling energetic, because there is an exchange of energy wherever and however we are going. So when you yourself are at a high level energy, you will radiate that as well. And this is where how we should love comes, that we are trying to answer by reading this book. That when you yourself are at a high love frequency, you will radiate love, and in receive, and obviously in when it will come to you, it will be multifolded. So this is how I think we should actually try to do things in our life. Yes, anybody else, please?
Can I go?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. I think I can highlight 3 points in here. I mean, it is genuinely very good read, and I think there would be a lot of inputs that we can get. So my first thing, which I think is quite new for me, was the sensation word that author used. So most of the times, even if we are angry or if we are in any kind of emotions, we know that whatever we are doing is not so right, but still the emotions or the feeling will just push us to do or push us to take the actions in a wrong way. I think that is one important thing. And also second, that when author mentioned about the past, I mean, that is again related to the sensation word. So whenever you get sensation because you have clinged your past to some level, so that's why you cannot take the argument further, or the past shows you that whatever that is there in your brain is actually right, so you keep on defending it, keep on giving the perception that it is right, and you in this process you cannot even accept the other person's point of view. So that is something that takes the argument to the other level. So it's better to not cling to the past, or it's better to let go of the past in a way that it just gives you information, not the feeling or expression out of it. And third point about conflicts, I think it is more of couples conflict, that how he tried to resolve the fight between them, that he admitted the mistakes and took responsibility for what was wrong with his actions, and then he genuinely apologized for it. I think this is like a three-step solution for all the all the fights that we have. And fourth, I think the best point that I could take forward is all the topics in the books all talk about how gentle we should be, um, how nice, how grateful we have to be. But author also mentioned that let boldness mix with gentleness, and let giving match with receiving. So it's not always about giving, it's not always about gentleness, it should be a match, it should be a balance between boldness as well as receiving. So I think those three are the best takeaways for me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pravina. Thank you for sharing that. Maniji, you want to say something?
Yeah, actually, few things. So my take on that is, uh, that nothing is perfect, and mistakes are part of life, and this is how we evolve ourselves. Just like mistakes give you more learning than not making mistakes. So we should appreciate the challenges of life in relationship or in day-to-day life, and uh, as I always mention that we only become what we believe in, right? So we should, whatever we are learning, we should, if you have to achieve that kind of wisdom, and we need to believe in that, and we have to, and love, forgiveness, and mistakes. They all work together. it's just like, uh, when we enrich our soul, or when we move forward in life, life is like two step up, one step down, right? So it's not a one direction thing. So when we happily accept that mistakes, and life is not perfect, and basically we should understand and happily appreciate the imperfection of life, because how this is how we evolve ourselves, right? So mistakes will happen, and some challenges will do happen, but if we do everything from the love, with the feeling of love, compassion, peace, and doing mindfulness, meditation, then it will really heal, like enrich our mind in the right way, and it will and with the feelings of love and compassion, it will make us do the right things, and it will not be tattered by challenges, mistakes, forgiveness, and we have to accept that imperfect, like mistakes will do happen, and we have to happily accept that and learn from it, and just to do better in life, whether it is relationship, in like in any other area of life. So and when we go through some pain also in a relationship or whatever, the pain will set you free. It will make you realize that what you had not been doing so great, right? So so life is all about learning or gaining, right? So we have to take everything in a positive aspect, and like we have to happily accept that things will life will go through up and downs, and we have to just focus on being nice to ourselves, others, and matlab, we have to feel that we are all connected to each other, right? And everybody is a magnet of its own way. I only attract what I am, right? So I should be a magnet of joy, love, peace, forgiveness, and whatever things that can put me at higher energy, because like attracts like, and this is how manifestation works, right? So, and at the end of the day also, if you still find something challenging, but I feel that just follow your heart, right? Because this is what I had been doing so far since I learned it. So, and it is helping me in so many ways. I'm able to connect to people well. I'm able to share my thoughts to them, and I can feel myself improving in all different areas of life. So I think, uh, and uh, and I just want to share one more thing that I liked about what Anil Kapoor said. Life में कुछ भी हो सकता है. You have to be ready for that. But every experience will put you in the forward direction. Nothing will put you in the back direction. So you have to happily like you have to believe in yourself that yes, every human being is a great miracle, and and the challenges are just a cloud in the sky. They will not they'll not stay for long, right? And nothing is permanent. Life is temporary. So you have to don't get stuck on the past or anything on the present which is holding you to move forward. So just go with the flow of life, just like the flow of river, right? So you cannot say, well, the point is the happiness of life is beyond the like day-to-day challenges of life. There are only a small, you can say just a drop in ocean actually. So I feel that, we have to accept challenges as part of life and be happy about it. And whenever you feel, when you go through those challenges, just focus on the better part of that, about practicing gratitude, right? Doing meditation, and always believing that you can always come through those challenges, and it is only helping you to grow better in life in whatever area you focus on. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Manish ji. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else? Samina ji, you want to share something? Okay.
All the points have been said. That's very nice. I'm in sync with them, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samina ji. All right, all right. So I think we are done
One,
with
one
yes.
point I just came to my mind on Praveena's share. So, so when she was sharing, this just popped up. So I just felt like it sometimes it becomes like that. Like it happens, right? वो बोलते हैं ना कि एक झूठ छुपाने के लिए फिर 100 झूठ बोलने पड़ते हैं.
Hmm.
So I think when we are in our past, like when we are too much protecting our past, sometimes it happens that way, that sometimes we see that people are changing, things are shifting, but we still are wanting to protect that, the earlier identities or the earlier perceptions that we had, because there is some ego over there, and it takes a lot of courage to accept that even others have changed, for that matter. Like sometimes we see, right, like there are some tough relations and in families and things like that, but people don't accept changes even if things have changed. They want to hold on to the earlier impressions and earlier situations or whatever has happened between them. So I think that is also very important, because then it takes big courage to accept ki, okay, yes, I know that now things are different, and to accept it. Sometimes you change, sometimes others change, but I think that just popped up when on listening to what Pravina was sharing with us. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mansi. I think there's a lot we should reflect upon, whatever we have read, everything, and obviously things will take some time when we'll start implementing. Holding on to past is not a good thing. Obviously, we all know and we have heard about it, we have talked about it. But how to get rid of it, how to use the past experiences just for learning, and just for how to not make the same mistakes again in life, should be the idea. And holding on to it, and as Pravina and Mansi shared, not defending it by our actions or maybe by our words is very important. So I think everybody should be aware of how to mold these things for betterment for themselves and for their relationships and for their partners as well. So yeah, I think we are done for today. Thank you,
I just want to add
yes, yes.
one thing. What I feel is very highly important to me just came to my mind. Sometime in life when we are not accepting the situation and not taking action, right? Basically, we are not allowing the divine wisdom to take place in our life. So I feel understanding the situation, living life with intention, and taking action. Just what I have experienced in my life so far is like when I didn't take action, maybe in my business, in my environment, so many other things. Uh, I have not really worked to my potential actually. So sometime, when you find it very hard to take action, right? Just put your pros and cons about different options you have. And when you just focus on which option is better and listen to your heart, right? To your gut feeling and take action. Because when we do that, basically we are allowing our divine wisdom to help us to bring results. That's what I feel. Because delaying action is denying the divine wisdom. So it's just like just focus on the heart, put and just and do some prayers and just take action to the best of your ability at that point of time. So I think that is a very important point that I feel that one should have, because when you are not taking action, we are saying no to life. So we should listen to our heart and put our options on paper and put the points and just take the action which you find it most suitable for you. Oh, nothing is perfect. Like just acting in the present moment is the best thing you can do. And I think if I wish I would have done that in the past in so many my business endeavors. I always look for a perfect opportunity, but I never had that. But if I had taken the best option available, I think I could have done a lot better till now. So I'm using that learning in my present day-to-day life, and I think and I have read like the same wisdom in so many different books. I'm implementing that in my day-to-day life, and it is helping me a lot. So sometimes you have to take action to allow the Almighty God, the divine wisdom, to help you, because and that happen only through taking action. That yes, I have done my part, and I'll leave it to God, and He will do the best for me. So I think that may be through prayers and things like that. And I feel that's very important thing that one should do actually. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Manishji, and thank you everybody for a beautiful read and being the co-readers with me today. It was a great chapter. We shall continue tomorrow, but before we shall end the session, I just want to make a small request and announcement at the same time. So basically, yesterday's session was not possible because in Himachal there was a lot of flood and everything which happened where I am living right now. So there was a lot of damage to many other things. So now the repair work is going on actually, because from last 3-4 days we are able to see sun at least, and it is not raining heavily. So repair work is going on. So every day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. there is a electricity cut. And yesterday, since I was not prepared for it, my devices were not charged and my internet was not also working because I connect with Wi-Fi and my data, phone data is very limited. But today I was able to manage it somehow. I don't know about yesterday and day after tomorrow because it will be happening for 4 days, like till Thursday that this repair work and 9 to 5 cut will be happening. So in case I am not available tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow, if anyone is there like just to volunteer to take care of the reading for another 2 days, if I'll be available, then obviously I'll be taking it. But if in any case there is some problem, there is some issue that will not allow me to take the session, I just hope if somebody is there to take care of the reading session. Is there anyone here to
Yeah,
volunteer?
I can do. If
Yes.
nobody else is
So,
there, I can do that.
yes. Thank you, Manish ji. So it's just a matter of 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday. Friday से तो things will be good for me. So if वो भी तब जब मैं नहीं हूँ, हो सकता है कि मैं आ ही जाऊं
Yeah, I
आज
got
की
it.
तरह, है ना? अगर नहीं आ पाई तो please take care of the session. Thank you guys. That was all for today's session. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you all.
Jyoti.
Thank you
And
all.
we will be there. So whatever we can do, you try to at least be present.
Yes,
So
yes.
and with sharing screen and all, we'll see how we anyone of the who's present will support you with whatever I can. I'll also be there with you.
Absolutely, Mansi. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so much. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No problem. Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you, dear. Take care.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.